Many people have heard what they believe is just a common expression. The love of money is the root of all evil, and are surprised to hear that these are actually the words of Scripture. Let's turn to the passage. 1 Timothy 6 verse 10. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith, and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. Notice how it says the love of money, and not just money itself. When we think about the sins that are tied to the love of money, it becomes obvious. Consider the 10 Commandments and all that could apply. Could money become your God? How much would you pay for the idols and images that you entertain yourself with? Do you use the Lord's name in vain for the sake of conformity and social advancement? Are you a workaholic and do not give any time for worshiping God? Do you take money from your parents and/or don't support them? Do you consider the wars, murders, and deaths surrounded by the desire for financial and political gain? Do you use money for prostitution, or are you fornicating with someone who isn't your wife because you don't want to, quotations, settle down? Have you ever stolen, which should be self-explanatory? Have you ever considered that lying is often predicated for self-serving reasons, meant to advance your own will and appearance? Finally, coveting, which can almost always be associated with the phrase, "If I only had enough." I'll let you fill in the blank. Those who lust after power are slaves to that lust, and will stop at nothing to keep it. To paraphrase a 15th century political philosopher, Niccolo Machiavelli, on his most famous work, The Prince, a political commentary on how to gain and maintain power, the ends justifies the means. This is the message of the world, but what did Jesus say about the love of money? Luke 16 verse 13. No servant can serve 2 masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve God and mammon. Mammon throughout the ages has meant either specifically money itself, or the manifestation of money which is devilish in nature. But the point of serving 2 masters, God and personal power, makes the contrast all the more apparent. This is not the only message Christ gave on this topic directly. Let's read the encounter that Jesus had with the Pharisees. Matthew 22 verse 15 to 21. Then went the Pharisees, and took counsel how they might entangle him in his talk. And they sent out unto him their disciples with the Herodians, saying, Master, we know that thou art true, and teachest the way of God in truth. Neither carest thou for any man, for thou regardest not the person of men. Tell us, therefore, what thinkest thou? Is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar, or not? But Jesus perceived their wickedness, and said, Why tempt ye me, ye hypocrites? Shew me the tribute money. And they brought unto him a penny. And he saith unto them, Whose is this image and superscription? They say unto him, Caesar's. Then saith he unto them, Render therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto God the things that are God's. The love of God and the love of money go directly at odds with one another. You cannot serve both. Even when we consider passages like 1 Timothy 5 verse 8, where it says, But if any provide not for his own, and specially for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith, and is worse than an infidel. And consider how someone who should be providing for their own are not. This also falls under the love of money. We are required to work for our wages, and not to hold our possessions in this world on a pedestal, or covet after the things we don't have. Always serve God in whatever you may do, and don't let the deceitfulness of riches choke the word out of you. In closing, consider the words of Colossians 3 verse 2. Set your affection on things above, not on things on this earth.